Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. Dr. K here from True Vine Wellness. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you are having a great day. Hopefully, your day is going great. Your week is going great. It's Thursday. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my platform. It is Thursday. Welcome. Dr. McDermott here from True Vine Wellness. Today I'm going to be talking about gut health. I'm excited because this is actually one of my areas of passion, areas of that I really enjoy talking about because it's usually the root cause of issues. So I'm gonna give some time to see if anyone will join in. It's 10 a.m. Hi everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? All right, I'm gonna give it a couple. Let's see, I give it till it's 10:01. I give it a couple seconds or so, and then I get started because you can always watch this on a replay on your time, and that's what I love about these videos. This you can replay them, and this also be up on YouTube as well. You can look up KM McDermott on YouTube, and you can watch this on YouTube as well. Okay, all right. How's everyone doing today? All right. So the topic of this live is called I Have a Gut Feeling. If you guys saw the flyer, I have a gut feeling supporting a healthy digestive system. All right. A lot of times we have, ailments, we're feeling symptoms of something, and we don't really think about the gut. Even if it's sometimes you may not be having gut symptoms, right? But whatever you are experiencing could be stemming from an imbalanced digestive system. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Okay. So let's see. Gut health. Gut health. All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm just going to put a title up here. How you doing, everyone? How's everyone doing? How we doing? How's everyone doing? Dr. K here. All right, let me just see how I can. I'm not, if anyone is commenting, I may not be able to see. So I'm trying to see if I can sign in on my phone here. Maybe so I can keep it a little bit more interactive with you guys. But I'm not sure how I can see this. All right. All right, guys. All right, I think that's the part I forgot to figure out before I came on here. But okay, so we'll figure that out later. So if you are commenting, I may not see it, so please forgive me, but you can go ahead and try. I should be able to pull it up in my StreamYard here, but sometimes I see the comments afterwards. But if you have any questions, just go ahead and put it in the chat below, and I can get to the questions afterwards. I definitely leave room for a Q&A, for 5-minute Q&A. Yeah, all right. So good morning again, everyone. Dr. K from True Vine Wellness. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, almost the end of the week. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I help many people overcome their health issues naturally. So men and women, right? So my specialties are usually obesity, stress management, diabetes, high blood pressure, gut health, gut dysfunction. And there's a lot in between those, right? Because again, like I said before, gut inflammation is usually the root cause of a lot of health conditions. Okay. So inflammation. So I'm going to get started. So inflammation, right, is basically you can have long-term inflammation and you can have short-term inflammation. So acute inflammation is okay, right? That's usually our immune system responding to something happening, and that's where everything comes to the surface and heals it. Just like when you get a wound, you get a cut, and basically white blood cells rush to that area to heal that wound, right? That's fine. That's normal. That's shown that our immune system is at work. However, you have your chronic inflammation, which is your low level chronic inflammation, that becomes an issue because then it stays, right? It's not acute. A chronic is more long term, and that's where it becomes an issue. So today I'm going to be focusing on gut inflammation, right? So when your body is inflamed, you may not feel, you know, you may not get the fever feeling or anything like that, but usually when you are inflamed, there's other issues going on. So your body is home to 100 and trillions of I'm actually going to show you because I actually have slides for you guys. I almost forgot. So your body is home to trillions and trillions of I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing my hold on a second here. Let's see. Hold on guys, sorry. I just want to make sure you're seeing my slides. Share. All right. Okay, guys. All right. All right. So you guys should see that. Okay. Awesome. So, okay. All right. So basically, let's go take a little quick back. So basically, your digestive system consists of your liver, your stomach, your gallbladder, right? Your gallbladder sits right underneath your liver. Your gallbladder actually is what stores bile, okay? You have your pancreas, your large and small intestines, okay? Your rectum, okay? So that, and actually your digestive system starts from your mouth, right? From your oral cavity. So our bodies is home to 100 and trillion millions of microorganisms, okay? But the largest amount is in our gut intestinal tract, right? So we have something called what they call dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is basically unbalanced gut bacteria, right? Which can lead to intestinal inflammation. And then your intestines being inflamed leads to intestinal permeability. Now, let me break that down a little bit. So basically, when there's intestinal permeability, that basically, if you ever hear about leaky gut syndrome, basically you have tight junctions in your digestive system, and when it's not tight, there's little openings. Whatever's supposed to be in your digestive system now leaks out into the rest of your body, creating inflammation. That's just the simplest way to explain that. And that's where some people end up developing sort of things like autoimmune disease and things like that, right? So when there's an increased amount of bad bacteria in the body, or in the digestive system, I should say, right? Increased bacteria like E. coli, Staphylococcus, Clostridium, Salmonella, et cetera. Basically, in a healthy body, nothing happens, right? It's fine because, like I just said, right? This is how I started. We have hundreds and trillions of bacteria in our bodies, but once we're healthy, they're fine because we need the bacteria to survive. We do need it, right? But when there's too much of the bad bacteria, that's when something goes wrong, right? So it's important that we strengthen our bodies or immune system specifically to help basically support the rest of our bodies, right? So bacteria doesn't attack or affect, I should say, a weak system, right? I mean, I should say it doesn't affect a healthy system, but when it becomes weak, that's when it becomes an issue, right? So we have something called endotoxins, as you can see in my slide here. Endotoxins is pretty much molecules that bacteria releases, like this is on their cell membrane. So it's the breaking down of the bacteria. And when they break down, they're released in the system and cause an issue. Okay, so endotoxins, basically a lipopolysaccharide, which is the outer part of the cell membrane of the bacteria, right? So when there's too many in the system that's released into the system, it can create damage to the DNA, and it can create increased amount of inflammation, right? When there's too many endotoxins released into the system by the breakdown of the cell membrane of the bacteria, this produces a lot of what they call reactive oxidative species, and that's what they call free radicals. I don't know if you guys always hear the term free radicals, antioxidants, free radicals, right? So basically antioxidants, the purpose of antioxidants is to help break down free radicals, to get rid of free radicals. But again, it's like an oxymoron, right? You don't want to get rid of too many of the free radicals because we need some of that, right, to balance. Again, it's about balance, right? So when it comes to good and bad bacteria, it's about having balance in the system, right? You don't want to have too much good and you don't want to have too much bad. It's all a balance, okay? So when there is a gut imbalance, right, a gut bacteria imbalance is called dysbiosis. So the genes that regulate inflammation is altered and it leads to intestinal impermeability, as I said, aka also known as leaky gut syndrome. Okay, so when there's a lack of diversity of the various strains our gut requires to maintain balance, a healthy gut, when there is a lack of imbalance, it triggers inflammation. It triggers inflammatory response, right? So your body starts to recognize it like foreign, like something is wrong, something's going on. The alarm starts to go off, right? It's like when there's smoke, right? We have a fire detector. When you smoke, when there's smoke, the fire detector goes off. So when your body is inflamed, it starts to give you signals, right, of something wrong. So I'm going to go in a little bit of what those signals are in a little bit. Okay. So we went through endotoxins. Hopefully you guys are still with me. All right. So what are the signs of gut inflammation? All right. So signs of gut inflammation is irritable bowel syndrome. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that, irritable bowel syndrome. Okay. And this is identified with abdominal pain or discomfort, right? Bloating, altered bowel habits such as diarrhea, constipation, or both, right? So sometimes you may find yourself, okay, one day you're constipated, one day you're having diarrhea, or within the same day, you may have a lot of abdominal pain. You may even find out you may have some bleeding, which I'm going to go into. That's on the next slide, right? And this can be triggered by certain foods and stress. If you're highly stressed, this can affect your gut microbiome, right? And also certain foods. If you had food sensitivities, this can also trigger gut inflammation or irritable bowel syndrome. There's more than 11, research shows that there's more than 11% that live with this worldwide. So a lot of people, 11% is a huge number. It may not seem a lot, but it's a lot. It says greater than 11% lives with irritable bowel syndrome worldwide. So you have a lot of people that's walking around with this and don't know this is what they have. Okay. All right. The next sign of gut inflammation is inflammatory bowel disease. So inflammatory bowel disease is pretty much an umbrella of what if you heard of Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. So anytime you hear the term inflammatory bowel disease, it's actually an umbrella of those, pretty much those two, okay? It's an autoimmune disease. There are autoimmune diseases due to defective immune response. So when there's inflammation in the gut and your immune system is not responding to that, again, chronic low-level inflammation leads to this, right? There's a defective immune response. The immune system is not responding, okay? So you have the, basically you have ulcerative colitis that basically affects mostly the large intestines, okay, and the rectum. And then you have the Crohn's disease that pretty much affects different parts of the digestive system, the small and large intestines, okay? So this can present with persistent diarrhea, abdominal pain, bloody stools, weight loss, and fatigue, okay? Hope you guys are still with me here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go back to this. All right. So persistent diarrhea, abdominal pain, bloody stools, weight loss, and fatigue. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So you should not be having persistent diarrhea. When when you're having diarrhea, your body's telling you something is wrong. Usually that's how our body responds. When you vomit, when you have diarrhea, constipation, These are all signs when you're having pain in your stomach, your body's telling you something is wrong. Okay. So with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, this person tends to have persistent diarrhea, abdominal pain all the time. They're uncomfortable, bloody stools. You should not be having blood in your stool, right? Blood in your stools can also be signs of cancer as well, right? So you definitely want to make sure you go to your gastroenterologist and have this checked, okay? Weight loss and fatigue. So you have like just basically weight loss that you can't explain. You're not trying to lose weight, but you just can't seem to be hold on to your weight, right? And also always feeling tired. So when there's abdominal issues going on, when you have gut inflammation, you also cannot absorb your nutrients, right? So even if you're eating, you could be eating healthy, eating food, eating good food, but you may not be absorbing your nutrients, right? So that's another reason why you could be feeling fatigue as well. And also, if you're having bloody stools, you're bleeding at some point. So you're losing your nutrients through your blood and you're losing some sort of iron, right? Which can also cause fatigue. Okay. So these type of inflammatory bowel disease can lead to colon cancer, right, due to chronic damage of the gastrointestinal tract. So persons who experiences irritable bowel syndrome and inflammatory bowel disease, this can affect their quality of life, right? Because imagine this is someone who's pretty much almost always in bed, or they're always moody, miserable, having headaches, they're not themselves, they can't function properly, they can't focus, right? So this affects their quality of life. They can't enjoy, they can't probably go to work consistently, they're always calling out sick, right? So this is someone that really needs to see a gastroenterologist, basically just to do the necessary testings, and then they can go and see someone like myself if you don't want to be on pharmaceuticals, right? Or for the rest of your life. Okay, so conditions like this are tend to be treated with immunosuppressants or steroids, right? And again, steroids is a form of drug that suppresses the immune system again. So, right, so that's how that goes. So another sign of gut inflammation is food sensitivities, right? The immune system is triggered, initiating an inflammatory response. So when your body is not responding to a certain food that you're eating, which like in this thing, like culprits are gluten and dairy mostly, because our foods are not produced the way that they used to, right? Like back in the day, right? There's a lot of additives, there's a lot of chemicals being added to our foods, there's a lot of processes that goes into our foods, right? This can trigger inflammatory response, right? So such as gluten and dairy, right? And gluten is in a lot of things, breads, the obvious breads, cookies, crackers. Gluten is also in some sauces, right, that we don't know of, right, unless you look in the ingredients and you read it. Dairy also can be a food sensitive to some people, creating that inflammatory response, like cottage cheese, butter, milk, right? Animal milk, that is, okay. So some of those symptoms, if you have a food sensitivity, how you can tell, or if you're having gas, bloating all the time, you're always feeling bloated, abdominal pain again, skin rashes. Also, if you notice that you have skin rashes, that can be a sign of having a food sensitivity. Diarrhea, eczema, and hives, right? Hives is also an allergic reaction. So food sensitivity is actually what they call an IgG response, which is a delayed response. It's not what you call your IgE, which is basically like your anaphylactic response, right? So food sensitivities are what they call an IgG response, which is a delayed response. Okay. So again, some of those symptoms are like gas, bloating, abdominal pain, skin rashes, diarrhea, eczema, and hives. So there's persons I've seen who have eczema, right? Eczema is like the dryness of the skin, like certain patches on your skin are just like really dry, right? Those are signs of food sensitivities, right? One of the things you can do right away to heal yourself, eliminate dairy and gluten, right? Eliminate gluten and dairy, and you start to begin the healing process of that. Okay, I mean, there's a lot more to that, but that's where you can start. Okay. Um, acne. Acne is also a sign of gut inflammation. If you notice that again, this is a form of a rash. Acne can also be due to hormone imbalance, but again, hormone imbalance also is connected to the gut as well, right? It's all interconnected, right? So dysbiosis, which is what I um, mentioned earlier, is right imbalance of the gut bacteria. So dysbiosis can disrupt skin homeostasis, right? So this is that can cause that. So if you notice that you have acne, think about your gut, right? Work on the gut. So anything on the skin, your skin is an organ. Your skin is the largest organ that you have. Anything that comes up in your skin is telling you that something is, you got to think quickly to your gut, okay? So even if you have someone that have had allergies, you get hives, think about your gut. All right. So autoimmune conditions, gut inflammation can also lead to autoimmune conditions like lupus, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis, like we mentioned earlier. Okay. So if you have some of these conditions, right, you want to look into, as far as autoimmune, you want to look into your gut. Start with your gut. There's other conditions as well that is caused from gut inflammation, like diabetes, right, high blood pressure, these type of things. It stems from the gut. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the gut brain connection. I'm not going to stay too long on this because it can get a little complicated. I have to probably do like one session on just this by itself, but I just want to touch upon it a little bit just to show you how connected our bodies are, okay? So you have the gut brain connection. The gut brain axis pathways include our central nervous system, what they call an enteric nervous system, a gut-associated lymphoid tissue, a hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, right? Our neuroendocrine gut hormone signaling system, sympathetic and parasympathetic branches of the autonomic nervous system. I know that just sounds like a whole nother language to you guys, but this is what a gut-brain connection is consist of. But I want to focus a little bit on the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is a huge nerve that stems right from our brain stem right down to our bodies. And they're connected to our different organs, right? It's the main nerve that connects the brain, the gut, and the brain. Okay. I'm just checking my notes. I just want to make sure I'm not leaving out anything. Proteins. Okay. So pro-inflammatory proteins. Awesome. Okay. So the vagus nerve, right? It doesn't stay there. We say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is not the vagus nerve, right? The vagus nerve actually goes throughout our body. It innervates different parts of our body. Our eyes, as you can see in the pictures, because I'm a visual person, I'm a visual learner, so I like to see things. So your vagus nerve actually innervates your eyes, your glands, your lungs to help you with breathing, slows heartbeats. It basically helps with um, stomach digestion, right? Your acids to secrete to digest your foods, right? Basically, the vagus nerve is our parasympathetic system. The parasympathetic is your rest and digest system, right? So this is what helps you relax. This is what helps you basically digest your foods. This is what basically helps you function properly, right? So this is opposite of your fight and flight. So this is opposite of what stress causes, right? Stress is like your fight and flight. Your body's always on the go, on the go, on the go. Parasympathetic system help relax that, right? It helps basically, as you could see here, slows the heartbeat. It helps with breathing. It helps with peristalsis, which is pretty much like digesting your foods. Your stomach can, digest your foods well, release your hydrochloric acid to help break your foods down. It stimulates your bile, right, from your gallbladder, right? So, and also your kidneys to help with your urine, your reproductive system, right? Or ovaries, women, right? So your vagus nerves, as you can see, it starts from the brain, goes all the way down to your to the rest of your body. So the vagus nerves is really important, and this is where that's why we have the gut and brain connection. Okay. So you see how powerful God made us. He was very intentional about what he was doing, right? Very intentional. So here are some habits that contributes to gut inflammation. Smoking, right? Smoking contributes to inflammation in the gut. Not only that, but it also depletes your B vitamins, right? And B vitamins is very important in supporting your nervous system. Okay. And also your B12, you make your B12 in your digestive system. So if your gut is a wreck, you're not able to make your B12, you're not able to support your immune system well, right? And remember from previous talks that I've had that 75% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you have a bad, if you have gut dysfunction, you also have a weakened immune system, okay? Artificial sweeteners, right? Artificial sweeteners also contribute to gut inflammation. So your high fructose corn syrup, your white sugar, your brown sugar, your Splenda, your sweet and low, and your equal. And for those who are diabetics, you may say, well, what do I use to sweeten my tea, right? You can use things like monk fruit extract. You can use things like stevia, which is made from a leaf, okay? Or just don't sweeten anything at all. Don't sweeten it, right? Especially for a diabetic. But there are low glycemic index sweeteners there that are more natural that you can use. But please do not use artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are also linked to certain things like cancers and other things like that, okay? Excess use of alcohol can also contribute to gut inflammation, okay? Overindulgence of alcohol can lead to gut inflammation. Environmental toxicity, so just the air that we breathe in on a day-to-day basis, the places that we work, right? Things where we are can affect our inflammation. Where we live can affect gut inflammation, right? And sometimes some of these things are out of our control, but we do our best by consuming certain things to help support that, okay? Misuse and abuse of antibiotics. So this is a big one, right? Antibiotics kills your good bacteria. So if you are a person that chronically lives on antibiotics, it kills your good bacteria. And when you're killing your good bacteria, you're creating dysbiosis, right? An imbalance of your gut flora. So you want to make sure that you are not living on this, okay? And also NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, so things that you're taking for pain, right, can also create gut inflammation. So chronic stress is another one that can lead to gut inflammation. So if you're a person that's highly stressed all the time, you're always on the go, you may be experiencing a divorce, you may be experiencing death in your family or a loved one or friend. You may experiencing financial stress, you may be experiencing emotional stress. All these things plays a role on your gut health, okay? You may be experiencing stress at work, you may be overwhelmed, right? All this can play a role to gut inflammation, okay? And this is where we talk about the gut brain connection, because when you are stressed, you are always producing, this is keeping you in a fight and flight. So this is what they call your sympathetic response, right? Your sympathetic nervous system response, always keeping you in that fight and flight, always on the go, always on the go. So you want to make sure that you are not in this state all the time, right? So with the gut brain connection, and let's go back to this a little bit because I actually love this. So when there's a gut brain connection, right? I didn't have a picture of this, but your body's also connected to your chemical messengers, right? So with the gut brain connection, chemical messengers are involved in the form of neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and the precursors such as tryptophan, choline, and acetyl-CoA. And what these all function helps with: focus, relaxation, stress reduction, sleep, right? So they are affected. So it's really important that we really support our gut health, right? Because they connect, our gut and our brain connects with each other. All right. So our just to recap, our parasympathetic nervous system is a rest and digest. It decreases respiration, so it helps you with breathing properly. Your heart rate increases digestion, and it's your opposite of your fight and flight response. Okay. So gut inflammation can lead to an increased risk for heart disease, diabetes type 2, insulin resistance, obesity, celiac disease, atopic eczema, which I mentioned already, atherosclerosis, and there's so many other things. And I mentioned it before, autoimmune conditions, right? So the gut inflammation can lead to so many things. And you want to look at your gut as your root, the root of a tree, right? When you want to get rid of a tree, you kill it at the root, right? So if you want to keep a tree, you water the roots, right? You're not going to just water the leaves and the branches of the tree, right? You need to water it from the roots, and then it absorbs the water, and you start to see the flower or the tree springs, right? So the same thing with our gut. We need to take care of the root of our bodies, which is our gut, and give it the right things, the right nutrients that it needs. Okay. So how do we reduce gut inflammation? Right? One of the first things that we do is reducing gut inflammation is being on an anti-inflammatory diet, such as the Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet mostly consists of a lot of vegetables, a little bit of fish, right? Whole grains. And I know I said, gluten, but you can do sprouted grains, or you can do other kind of grains like quinoa and nuts and seeds and legumes, and a lot of spices, which are great, and very little meats. If you look at the pyramid that I have here, right, you could see that meats and sweets are at the top of the pyramid, which means it's very small amount that you have. And then as you go down, a little bit of poultry, maybe a little bit of eggs, a little bit of chicken. But also, if you do eat chicken, just make sure it's cage-free organic chicken. Okay, if you can get it in the area wherever you are in the world. Okay. And then you want to mostly focus on fish. So wild caught fish, right? Especially omega-3s like your wild caught salmon, haddock, herring, sardines. You just want to make sure they're wild caught. But again, you want to keep a balance, right? Because then you're also thinking about mercury and all that. So, right, it's always a catch-22 with something, right? So you want to do that amount, but you want to have a lot of vegetables, right? Think of the rainbow, eat variety of vegetables and fruits, some grains, a lot of healthy fats like avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, and things like that. And you can get your healthy fats from your nuts and seeds as well, and a lot of spices, and physical activity, exercise, right? Exercise is so important to our body to reducing gut inflammation, right? When you are exercising, it helps you produce your feel good hormones like endorphins. It helps reduce stress, right? So it's really great for exercise. And water, you want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Half your body weight in ounces of water per day is essential. And wine, if you're a person that drinks wine, just want to keep that in moderation. All right. You want to keep your resveratrol levels coming in, right? So with your wine. So just keep it very, 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 very light moderation. Okay. Exercise, as I said. So studies have shown that running promotes the development of healthy and beneficial bacteria. So it's really important for us to exercise, aerobic exercise, especially at least 30 minutes for 5 days. Okay. So if you pick 5 days out of the 7 days that we have, at least exercise for 30 minutes, and you are already on the road for a healthy gut microbiome, a healthy gut, right? A healthy digestive system, right? This exercising promotes what they call a short chain fatty acid, and this this creates butyrate, which heals the gut lining. Okay. So exercise is important. So exercise is not just building muscle and de-stressing, but you're also creating, it's something functional that's actually happening in your body. When you exercise, you're promoting something good to help heal your gut lining. Sleep is important for healthy gut. Obviously, the guy at the top here, he's not getting so much of good sleep. Okay, so he's probably doesn't have a good healthy gut because he's laying there not sleeping. But her, she's making sure she's getting her sleep, right? Because she wants a healthy gut, right? So the lack of sleep can promote gut inflammation and minimize a healthy gut microbiome, or should I say a healthy gut environment, okay? So it's ideal for us to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. In the world that we live in today, we know sometimes 9 hours or even 7 hours is pushing it, right? Is pushing it. But we aim for that. This is what we should aim for, to have a healthy gut, okay? And a healthy immune response. So when you sleep, you're creating a healthy immune response, you're strengthening your gut, and you're also promoting healthy immune system as well, okay? Probiotics. Probiotics is really essential to keeping a healthy gut. You want to consume multiple strain probiotics, not just acidophilus or just lactobacillus. You want to make sure you're having multiple strain probiotics. Okay. And you also can eat things like yogurt, like maybe plant-based yogurt, or if you like whole milk yogurt, just make sure it's grass-fed. I personally used to eat Wallaby, which is a really good brand that's actually grass-fed, made from grass-fed cow. You can get that, get a plain and add your own fruits to it. You can do kombucha, you can do sauerkraut, you can do kimchi. These are things that helps actually strengthen your good bacteria in your stomach. Okay. Lastly, next thing is lower your stress levels, right? You want to do your best to lower your stress levels, trying to manage your stresses as much as possible. Meditation, prayer, reading, exercise. As I said, deep breathing exercise is essential. I'm actually going to do a deep breathing exercise with you guys, in a second after this. And reflection, journaling, writing down, letting it out. If something is stressing you, write it out. Write it down. Get a little journal, write it out. Okay, gratitude, being grateful, looking through the situations that you have and being grateful for what you have, right? Don't look at what's not working for you, but look at what's working for you and be grateful for that. Be in the state of gratitude. When you are grateful, that helps lower your stress levels as well. Listen to music. Find music not like something that will keep you in a good mood, keep you thinking about good things, right? So music is great for helping lowering stress levels. Okay. And that's a reflection. All right. So basically, in summary, gut inflammation is the result of an imbalance of a healthy gut flora, leading to chronic inflammation if left in that state of imbalance, right? So your gut can be inflamed, right, for a short period of time, and you can heal that. But if it's left in that state of imbalance, it leads to, as I said, autoimmune conditions, right, like lupus, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis. It can lead to eczema and all sorts of other things, right? And this is what we don't want. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple minutes for you guys, and we're going to do a deep breathing exercise. We're doing pretty good in time. I have time for Q&A for a little bit. All right. So I want you guys to, let me stop sharing here. Let me come back to you guys. How we doing here? How we doing? Hope you guys are enjoying that. All right. So we're going to do a deep breathing exercise. So what I want you guys to do is sit down. Make sure you're sitting down. Make sure your back is rested. Okay, you're going to put one hand on your stomach, one hand on your chest. And you're going to take a deep breathe. You're going to breathe in and you're going to hold. As you breathe in through your nose, you're going to count from 1 to 4 silently. Okay, then you're going to count from 1 to 7. Okay, and you're going to hold for about 7 seconds. So you count 1 to 7 silently. And then you're going to blow out slowly, count from 1 to 8 through your mouth. And you want to make sure your stomach is pushing your hand. Okay, your chest should not be moving. Okay, it should be most of your stomach. Okay, so you can breathe out. Do it again. Then breathe out, come from 1 to 8. And then you're going to realize how relaxing that feels, right? So do that 3 to 4 times, 3 to 5 times or so in that one session. Do that a couple times a day, and you realize how it helps you with de-stressing. Okay. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. So I'm taking questions. Does anyone have any questions? I'm not sure how I can see. If you guys are commenting, I am not seeing it. All right. How is everyone doing out there? Hopefully that was helpful to someone. Again, my name is Dr. Cave Truvine Wellness, and let me know how we're doing, how we're feeling. I'm trying to see how I can see you, see you guys. Good. How we're feeling. All right. I'm trying to see how I can see. All right, guys. How we're doing, everyone? How we're doing? All right, let me see how. I'm trying to see how I can see. All right, guys. How we're doing, everyone? How we're doing? All right. Hi, Agnes. Hi, Miss Blossom. Hey, Bree. Hi, Mom. Hi, everyone. I'm just trying to see the comments because I'm not seeing it on my stream here. So do any one of you have any questions? Any questions about gut health? My stream here. So do any one of you have any questions? Yeah, I can't. There's no way I could because it's gonna get a feedback. All right, guys. If you have any questions, just email me at info@truevine.wellness.com. You can book a free 15-minute discovery call with me by calling 347-433-5076, or you can email me at info@truevine.wellness.com. Again, if you want to book a free discovery call with me, email me at info@truevine.wellness.com, or you can call at 347-433-5076, and we get started. If you have any health concerns that you would like to address and you want to address it alternatively, you could definitely give me a call, okay? So if it's something I have not mentioned in this, but you want to inquire about something else, feel free to make that appointment. Go ahead and send me an email and then we can discuss from there, okay? All right, guys. All right, so it's been great. Hopefully you guys have been doing well. And hopefully this information was a blessing to you guys. And for those who are going to be listening on the replay, please put hashtag replay on the bottom in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening to this on the replay. And also ask questions if you have any questions. You can inbox me, DM me if you have any questions. And you can follow my page at True Vine Wellness on Instagram. Also, I have a Facebook page that's called True Vine Wellness as well. All right, so just follow me on Instagram. I do post things there. I try my best to do like educational posts and just post in there just to encourage us and just give us some inspiration on how to have better health. Okay. All right, guys, it's been great. It's been awesome. All right, so I look forward to serving all of you, doing well, all of you, and those who are watching me from around the world. I look forward to working with you and helping you, and supporting you, and serving you to better health. All right, guys, be blessed. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.